Daily I shall worship thee, Lamb of God who died for me, who extended endless mercy, extended endless mercy. Ooh, extended endless mercy, extended endless mercy. Ooh, extended endless mercy, extended endless mercy. Ooh, extended endless mercy. Extended endless mercy. Ooh, extended endless mercy. Ooh, extended endless.
Pour your oil on me, let it fall down on me, from the top of my head to my feet. Pour your oil on me, let it fall down on me. I want your glory, want your glory. I want your glory, I want your glory. Here's my heart, and here's my soul. Holy Spirit, come in. Fill me with your consuming fire. I want your glory, want your glory. Pour your oil on me, let it fall down on me. From the top of my head to my feet. Pour your oil on me. You did it before. Right now I need you to do it again. Yes, I do. That's what we're calling for. Rain, Jesus, rain. Let your anointing fall on me. Rain, rain. Jesus, rain. Yes, Lord. We need you to fall, God. Send your power right now, God. Yes, Lord. That's what we're calling for, Jesus. Oh, that's what we need.
Middle Georgia. Will you help the WDDO 980 AM family welcome to our Glory Weekly lineup, All of a Sudden, with Brenda Sutton as host. Join All of a Sudden every Monday from 5:30 until 6:30 and tune in and be inspired on 980 AM WDDO. All of a Sudden, 980 WDDO. Stop by and hear the tee-hee-hee at 2:15 p.m. with the First Lady of Hype. Get just a little tee-hee-hee bit. History repeats itself. The new dynamic duo, 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO. The Glory.
Here at the Dozier Law Firm, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of our work from home. We are greatly appreciative and thank every one of the essential workers that have been out there on the front lines every day. The Dozier Law Firm, be smart and be careful.
Dots Forget-Me-Nots, located at 623 Cherry Street, downtown Macon, across from Truist Bank, is having a 21-year celebration and customer appreciation sale. Friday, September 29th and Saturday, September 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Join us for music, refreshments, and door prizes. And you don't want to miss our annual sidewalk fashion show at the boutique, featuring unique clothing and accessories, casual to dressy, sizes small to plus. That's Dots Forget-Me-Nots 21-year celebration and customer appreciation sale. Friday, September 29th and Saturday, September 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Store hours are Thursdays and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Step out in style with Dots Forget-Me-Nots, 623 Cherry Street, downtown Macon, across from Truist Bank. For more information, call 478-336-5600. Dot Ridley and staff are waiting to serve you.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwinnett, WESTBROOKS, and Mr. DUMAS.
And good evening, and welcome to another segment of the NAACP Truth Show. I'm Willie Dumas, your host. Happy you could join us today, and hope you had a great weekend like I did. I had a lot of activity going on this weekend, and a lot of activity going on through the month of October. We finally got some fall weather, and certainly we're taking advantage of this beautiful, cool weather. Even though it's nice and sunny today, about 80 something degrees, of course, we had about the same temperature on yesterday, but we've had some lovely weather to get outside and to experience the outdoors and see some of the events that's been happening around the community. On this past Sunday, we had the opportunity to celebrate with our church, Union Baptist Church. Did an outside tent event, tent service. It was wonderful. We had food trucks. We had vendors as far as people who were out cooking on the grills and just having a great time under their specific tents and everything. We had a lovely service, got to bond with the community, and I had the opportunity to play some nice music out there to kind of set the environment. And so it was a lovely day to be out, a lovely time we had, particularly in the month of October, because we're celebrating up to 130 years church anniversary. And so we'll be having a series of events taking place even this week. We have the wonderful Luther Barnes, who will be in concert at the Union Baptist Church this Friday. And we look forward to that. That will begin at I believe at 6 o'clock, but the doors will be open at 5:30, so people can get a good seat and get ready for some great singing. Also on the ticket with Luther Barnes will be the MC from this radio station, and that's in the form of Apostle Vertice Rozier. He'll be the MC for that night, as well as some other entertainment destined for greatness. They will be there along with some other groups. And so we look forward to having you come out and share as we begin our celebration for our church anniversary, which will culminate that Sunday, this coming Sunday. And we look forward to that as well. We have a wonderful speaker that's going to be coming in to speak um, uh, with us. And so it's going to be an exciting time. And so you don't want to miss it. Of course, if you're a member of Union Baptist Church, I'm sure you won't miss it. But also the community is invited to come out as well. And so we're looking forward to having a really, really good time. And we look to see all of you there. I hope you've been having a safe weekend. I do understand that there was a shooting at a car wash right there on Millerfield Road, a fatal shooting that took place. And just another statistic here in Macon, Georgia. And of course, we can do without all of that type of fanfare. But we do hope that people will be cautious. Just be cautious. We're in a season now where it's going to start to get dark real early, and so you have to make sure you're getting those things that you need done early, and that you watch your surroundings and don't allow yourself to be a victim to things that are happening out here here in the streets. And of course, we know that we send our condolences to the families of those loved ones who may have lost their lives to that shooting. So um, just a precautionary measure to our listening audience to make sure that we stay safe during this time of increased crime in our city. President Westbrooks will be joining us later, and we'll be talking about some of the things that are affecting our community, particularly that we, the NAACP, have been involved in trying to um, keep our finger on the pulse, if you would, of various things that are occurring in our community. Of course, one of the main topics we've had in the last couple of radio shows have dealt with housing and evictions, the courts, and we've also have had to deal with the jail situation here in Bibb County. We do know that there's an election year coming up, and do understand there will be some opposition to the sheriff, and so that should be interesting. I'm sure there will be a number of forums that will be held where individuals can hear the various campaigns um, that will be ran on the individuals that are running for sheriff, and of course we look forward to getting out the vote to make sure everybody's registered, because we do know that on a couple of shows we've talked about the purging that has taken place on the voters' rolls, and we've been encouraging individuals to check their status to make sure you didn't receive a letter stating that you were purged from the rolls. And the only way to be sure about that is to actually check your status. And so we're hoping that you will do so. Check your status to make sure that you're still on the rolls, because that's one of the things you don't want to run into. You don't want to go to vote and find out you're not registered to vote, because at that point it would be a little too late. And so you want to make sure you check that status. I want to give you that website again, because many of us can go right now and be able to check your status and see if you are actually registered. And so it's a very simple process. On last week's show, I gave that information to you, and it's just a little information you have to put in order to verify that. And that website is mvp.sos.ga.gov. Once again, that's mvp.sos.ga.gov. And those of you who are on Facebook, you'll see it there in the chat. and make sure you go and check your status because it's going to be very important. Also, on last week, we announced about our Freedom Fund banquet that's coming up on the 21st, and we want you to check that out. That'll be the Macon Bibb NAACP annual Earl T. Shinholster Awards banquet, and that's October 21st, 2023. It'll be held at 5 p.m. at the Union Baptist Church, and that's located at 1137 Kitchen Street. Our tickets are $50, and you can call this number if you need a ticket. That number is 478-745-9944, or you can cash app it at $ Macon Bibb NAACP. Once again, if you need tickets for the event, which the tickets are $50, you can call 478-745-9944 or cash app at $ Macon Bibb NAACP. And we solicit your support because that's our biggest fundraiser for the year. Of course, the work that we do in this organization, it all depends on the money that we raise. And so one way you can help our organization is either by buying an ad in our souvenir booklet or by attending by getting a ticket. Also, we're still soliciting membership to the NAACP. And so those kinds of ways you can help our organization to continue to stay on the forefront of various things that are happening in not my community, but our community. So we all have to play our part in doing so to make certain that certain things take place and that the business of the community continues to go on. Now, some of the things we want to talk about in particularly is the jail. And so we know that there are a lot of issues that are associated with the Bibb County Jail because the NAACP has received several complaints. We get a number of complaints as it relates to certain things pertaining to the jail. And some of those things, of course, has to do with, stabbings or using of various what they call shanks that some inmates have made as weapons. And so those are some of the things that we definitely try to speak against, that people, should be safe, even though they're in the jail, even though they're incarcerated, they should be in a safe and secure environment. And we do receive quite a few complaints about issues security-wise in the jail. I understand also in one of the prisons here in the state of Georgia, I think it's the Smith prison, the Smith State Prison, they've had a killing where an inmate actually killed a prison guard. And so, prison violence as well as jail violence is a real thing and something that brings a lot of hardship to families who loved ones experience this type of violence. And so we are always advocating for safety measures within the jails as well as our prison systems to make sure that the people who go to work can return home safely. Haven't gotten a whole lot of details on actually what happened as far as how the inmate actually caused the death of the prison guard. But I'm sure there's an investigation that's ongoing, and we'll probably be receiving additional information in regards to that. But for the most part, we know that these types of activities do happen. On our show on last week, we talked about a situation that happened there at the jail where someone actually was trying to break into the jail. Now, it's very seldom people want to get in the jail. Most of the time, they're trying to get out of the jail. But apparently, this perpetrator was bringing in or trying to get in some type of contraband, probably to particular inmate or inmates, and I do believe that that had been addressed. But these are some of the issues that the Bibb County Jail is facing right now. We've even advocated for a new jail um, since they have a lot of problems um, within the jail. We've had some meetings with the sheriff, and we've been told it takes a number of years to get a new facility done because of the disparity studies they have to do. They have to locate property to first of all build the jail. It has to be zoned and those kinds of things. And so it's one of those type of situations where you have to kind of go with the flow unless you do a type of lawsuit or something to try to get that expedited. But we do know that our jail is pretty old here in Bibb County, and that hopefully, at some point in time that can be resolved, that either we can get a new jail or get some type of safeguards to improve what's already there in place. Um, I got a few statistics stating that there are over 150 inmates for murder in our jail system. And so when you have a large population of individuals that have serious crimes, they can add to the chaos, of course, I'm sure, in the jail. We talked about last week some of the issues that people were, complaining about as relates to the type of food that the inmates were receiving, and we found out that that was what they call a nutrition loaf, and this was a legal form of food. It wasn't something they were doing illegally. That this was a legal form of food that's sometimes given when inmates are being punished, and it's a way of deterring certain actions, particularly as it relates to the commissary. We knew that there were a lot of incidents surrounding the commissary, in that certain inmates that didn't have access would sometimes threaten and fight other inmates that had money on the books and were able to purchase certain things. And so that caused a lot of issues. And so um, one of the ways to deter that was by closing down the commissary. And so, it kind of punishes everyone in a way, but they have to get control, I'm sure, of the jail's population, and that was one of the means that they used to do so. Some of the other issues that we've gotten complaints about, in particular as it relates to the jail, is with our female inmates having adequate sanitary care and those kinds of things, hygiene care. And so these are real issues, valid issues that have to be addressed and have to be looked at as it relates to inmates and their rights. And so we have to take those things serious, and we do hope that the sheriff department takes it serious as well, because those are real issues that affect real people, and of course we have to stay on top of those types of issues. As it relates to the 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 race that's coming up for sheriff, not only is the sheriff going to be running for reelection this year, also the DA will be running for reelection. Um, and so it's a crucial time for voting, particularly here locally, and that on the safety and security side, the courts as well as the jail will be looking at um, possibly, electing or re-electing those individuals. And so it's going to be a crucial time. And so you want to make sure if you're registered that you check your registration to make sure it's valid. And so you won't have any issues during election time, because it's going to be a crucial time here for us locally as well as nationally. Um, there have been several hall meetings that have been established either from various candidates that are running, and we encourage individuals to attend those hall meetings that you can learn more about the candidates and what the candidates are offering or what they are suggesting to improve uh, things here in Macon Bibb. And so we do hope people will take advantage of finding out where those forums are held, and so that you can get a better feel of those particular candidates. We also encourage people to check out your local county commission meetings. There's a lot that sometimes happens that affects, how business is conducted downtown and those kinds of things. And so you want to be a part of that. You don't want to sit back and watch things happen. I do know that one of the heated uh, commissioner meetings that I attended was a couple weeks back when they were coming up with new ordinances that affect downtown businesses, particularly the club owners as well as the food trucks. There were some new ordinances that were put in place as it relates to how long a nightclub can stay open and when they have to close. Because we do know that a part of what occurs sometimes in nightlife, if they're extended hours, then that means sometimes people drink a little more than they probably should. And by doing so, it can, cause people to be a little bit more agitated, a little more rowdy. And so that's the time when a lot of fights break out and we get these shootings that take place. And so though there were some ordinances that were put in place to kind of curtail a lot of that type of activity. And so when you look at it, you have to say something has to be done. You can't just, if you continue with the same thing going on and, not changing anything, you'll still get the same type of results. And so we have to try to come up with innovative ways to curtail crime, because downtown has become a great place to be, the great place to come and enjoy the nightlife that's downtown, some of the restaurants and some of the venues. And so particularly now where it's nice and cool to sit out and enjoy the atmosphere, it makes for a good place. So safety is very important in that happening. We've also been following the progress that's been happening with the amphitheater, and it seems like they're coming along really well with that structure, and hopefully they'll have a lot of good groups to come through and maybe help to revitalize that side of town, because there are a lot of people who are looking to hopefully get that area back up and going. We know that the old Macon Mall used to be a central point, for individuals that come to Macon, and so maybe they'll get that type of response once again. We see President Westbrooks has joined us. How you doing, President Westbrooks?
I'm doing well. Got a phone call, and I've been sitting out there in the car trying to end that conversation. So
Oh, okay, that will work. And
yeah,
we've just been talking about various things, of course, that we've been involved with
yeah,
uh, uh, here in the here in the city of Macon, as it relates to the jail and um, some of the problems we've seen as far as downtown and some of the crime. Um,
yeah,
I was
yeah. I
talking
think
about the shooting today that took place on Millerfield
yeah,
Road.
the 19-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah, and but to my understanding, the crime rate is down some
wow.
with the killing and all of that, and that's a good thing. But like I say, we just gotta continue to make all efforts to make sure we keep this crime down, because we're almost at the end of the year.
Right.
And so, it's just, I think people, dealing with the different things in the jail and all of that, people, it's something where you don't want to be.
Right.
You're seeing different things happen throughout the state of Georgia in the corrections department facilities and different things like that. So hopefully, people are paying attention to that.
Right. That deadly situation that happened, I think, at Smith State Prison, where an inmate actually killed a guard.
Yeah,
That could very easily be in our jail system the same way.
yeah,
So,
and we got to actually had an incident there.
right.
We can't talk much about it, but just like I said, a lot of times, we talk about the different things that's going on in jail. We have some of that stuff that's going on now here in Bibb County. We go in a lot of extortion of inmates, um,
Right.
causing bodily harm to other inmates and different things like that. I get a lot of phone calls, with that, and so um, it's just that you worry about the inmates in the jail, and you worry about the sheriffs in the
Right.
jail with people having those type of weapons and making those type of weapons in the jail. And so it's a situation where to me those I get phone calls about different things, various things about the conditions of the jail and all that. But then like I said, we need to. I say it all the time. We still need to talk about the fact that we got people that is a revolving door that people are continuously going back into the jail. So how do we, you know,
Curtail that.
yeah, to keep people from actually going back into the jail with sometimes the same offense.
Right. And then some of the long term offenders that have been incarcerated for a long period of time, if they probably, had gone to court and not been there, they cause less havoc within the jails.
Yeah, and I was on the phone with the DA of not too long ago, and mentioned talked about some of this stuff, and she's going to be coming on the show too to kind of explain and break it down. But as we talked about it, a lot of times, you know, the way cases are done, when I look back at the report, and we question why, some people are still incarcerated, um, that's been there for a long time, and a lot of times the cases are continued by the attorney or whatever. It may be a conflict in schedule or whatever, but a lot of times cases are continued. So that's why sometimes um, inmates are still in the jail system. And as we know, the jail only house, a lot of times people criticize the jail for certain things, but the jail is basically just housing the
Just
inmate. They have nothing to do with you going to court, and
right.
because they want them out of there too. Especially the ones that keep getting in trouble and
Causing a lot of the issues.
yeah. So with stabbing and extorting money from people and jumping on other inmates, you having to move them to keep them, and keep them apart. And like I said, a lot of times, you know, people have beefs when they go into the jail. They have other issues, outside before they came into the jail. So when they get in jail, they
Bring those
bring
same
those same
problems.
problems in the jail. So it's a lot of things that um we look at the reason why people are still in hadn't gone to court. We know that COVID had something to do with some of it. Now we're into 2023, and some people are still incarcerated that are, but there's circumstances, and I'll let DA Howard talk about that when she comes on the show. But it explains the way, because a lot of time people criticize her and criticize the
Right.
jail and criticize, but really they don't have if the attorney decides that he want to go before the judge and continue, most time the judge will continue. But so for whatever reason, and looking at and listening to what she was saying, if the judge don't allow and they go forward with it, they can file a complaint against the lawyer for ineffective counseling and take it into court, and they wasn't ready. So it's a lot of different things you got to look at when people are incarcerated, with the investigation, whether or not there's been an investigation with the case, whether it's completed, and a lot of things take part. But like I say, um, in speaking with uh, like I say, the Major Wolford and I have a pretty good relationship and making sure, I can call him and he'll give me the information that I need. And we work together and trying to get the information, like when inmates call me, or family members call me personally on my cell phone. They get your number from somewhere. I don't
Oh
know how
yeah.
they be getting it, but some of them. But when I go into the jail, I give my card. A lot of times, because sometimes people are just want to know about their attorney, hadn't heard from their attorney or something like that. So we help with that and intervening to make sure people get properly, get able to meet with their attorney and different things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess our time is running. We thank you for tuning in with us today, and hope you have a great week. Got some beautiful weather to enjoy, and so we'll see you on next week.
Okay.
You have been listening to the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwinnett Westbrook and Mr. Dumas. Come join us next Monday at 4 o'clock p.m. on 980 WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants